I will have to review for each matchup in the recently concluded Identity 5 COA IV finals. So what I'll do is that in my review analysis, I'm not like doing a react video or anything, but more like I've watched each of the matches for several times and try to pick up some of the interesting points that I felt is worthy to analyze and dissect. So throughout each of the games, of course, some of the plays which is obvious one, then I'll just leave it be. But throughout the video, if some points that is definitely worth to discuss, I will even probably pause the video for a while. Okay. So for this matchup, for day 1, we have between RD and GG. Okay, with RD playing survivors and GG as a hunter in the map of Arms Factory. So let me try to explain what is the ban process here. Okay, so ban, I think if not mistaken, Seer was banned. And here in the lineup here we see Mercenary, Explorer, Wildling and Forward. Now this is what we typically call the Kaufman lineup, in which other than Explorer, every other survivors here have their own individual catching ability. So many Mercenary with the elbow pad, Wildling with Pocky, and Forward with his football. So means right, at any time that it gets too dangerous, Hunter gets too close, they have their own item or ability to create distance. Now Explorer is a special case because of his ability to hide. So that makes it not necessarily easy for Hunter to find him, especially in Arms Factory where there's a lot of high grass, where if he able to pick a spot, the Hunter may not necessarily easily find him. Okay, so let's move on to the video. So while waiting, because in the COA format, right, typically each team would have their score based on the number of survivor removed or survivor escape. So, for example, for every survivor eliminated, the Hunter will get 1 point. Whereas for the survivor, for every survivor get out, also 1 point. Now there's a small distinction here. If example, if Hunter get 4 kills, he get a 5 point instead of 4. Likewise for survivor, if they manage to get 4 out, they get 5 points instead of just 4. So there's a bonus point there. So right, normally in the game 1, best of 1, typically for each team, for each side, right, what they try to do is get a tie, secure the point parity first. This is so that to alleviate any pressure from the upcoming game next. And typically every team will try to play it safe up until best of 3 onwards, because that's when the Hunter get to ban more and survivors get to ban more as well. So here what we see is that Hunter chose Sculptor, which is a very typical best of one game. And for Sculptor here, right, the best possible target is of course Explorer. I'm not sure if RD will be well aware, which later in the match you guys will see. In no doubt at all that the Explorer will be the weakest link here, the best target for Sculptor to chase first. So what typically in this matchup, what happens is that Sculptor would bring Quenching Effect plus Teleport. So regardless, whoever is the first target that she chases, she would just go near and then threaten to drop a hit and just force the survivor to use whatever item or skill that they have, so just to exhaust their ability. And once Quenching Effect triggers, the Hunter will scan around the map and look for Explorer. Now of course, Explorer inherently also have a counter to this. Explorer can just go into small mode in which to escape the Quenching Effect. So 2 things important to do here for Explorer. Number 1 is to hide. Okay. Number 2 is that to be aware when the Quenching Effect triggers, so as to not dig for passcode, and also to go small during the effect trigger. This will then allow him to hide, and then Sculptor will have a tough time to find him. Okay, so let's jump into the game. So here Hunter immediately but managed to check for Thanatos, but then Wildling trigger the Raw and then cancel the Thanatos. So what we see is that a nice play here in which PPCR hides the red light, right, by angling holding the statue drop. Okay, so here you see you try to get close to mercenary, and that's one level back wasted already by just one statue. So that's fair enough. Now take a look. Take a look at the left side of the screen. Take a look at the left side of the screen. You see, Explorer is digging for pages already. Okay, so that's play number one that is questionable already. Okay, that because when Explorer dig for page, right, it will send an alert to the hunter. Okay, now look at number two. Okay, in which you see the quenching effect 8 seconds left. Okay, so this will be the critical time. Okay, if let's say Explorer remains same digging page, it's best to remain small. So now we see Hunter once again just try to wait for time to go. Now watch. Okay, 3, 2, 1, quenching effect triggers. Now see, he already scanned the area and now already ready to teleport. And you see, sorry, hold on, let me just stop that a little bit. Okay, now just watch at the bottom left of the screen. Okay, when the quenching effect triggers, look at Explorer. 3, 2, 1. Look, he immediately goes big. Then that is what triggers PPCR to immediately teleport over here. And by the time here Explorer try to hide go small and hide the footprint, it's way too late because the footprint is already found. Okay, so now PPCR has successfully find the weakest and best target to chase in the form of Explorer, and he also have 4 statues at hand. Okay, so that's not an easy one to escape, and now just one statue away and that's a down. And look at that, the time 1 minute 26 seconds. That's a very fast down. Also compounded by the fact that the 3 other survivors outside there, okay, despite being tough, they have all of them have decoding debuff. So this definitely is not looking very well for RD team here. Now what RD team here has to do is that there's no choice. Explorer still need to be rescued, but probably will be after half. Okay, so the best thing here is to just have Waling come here and then just to check on the dinosaurs to make sure the hunter is in check and stays near the chair. Okay. One thing that's very important to note here is that Sculptor is very important to not give her any free hit for presence, because a level 1 presence sculptor versus a full presence sculptor is a very different beast altogether. Okay, so now we see Sculptor uses the graveyard to harass forward. Now harass Raki over there is paying much respect to the statues by moving around and trying not to get hit. Okay, so we see here Waling is riding on the hawk just to check, but right now it's probably a bit too late already. And PPCR here calculate the time just nicely and push forward away. Okay, what now Waling has to do is to take the page up, which he already did, and have to go go and decode on the cipher. And looking at the cipher right now is definitely behind, because 4 ciphers there. And look at the progress, it's even with the Explorer's passcode earlier, it's at most 2 ciphers down, so that means 2 full cipher remaining. Here forward unfortunately goes down with the statue. Of course, from Hunter's point of view, it seems like, hey, why the survivor so easily fall down with the statue? It's a very different threat altogether when you put into account a lot of statues that's coming, and then the terrain, and then the threat of being hit by the main body is not necessarily easy to avoid. Okay, here so try to find Waling, but here is another misplay. I felt that Mercenary came in way too early for the rescue. Okay, perhaps was thinking that she's using graveyard, so maybe can just steal a rescue, but it's just too risky of a move to pull. Okay, so right now, unlike other hunters, right, Sculptor somewhat able to negate strong kite zone, because Factory is definitely one of the strong kite zones of the game. And here we see PPCR try to hide the red light by traversing in the opposite direction, and that actually is a very strong mind game against the survivor, especially during that game. And And this is a very nice spot here. Let me break it down. Okay, let me break it down just a small little subtle play earlier that this is something that is worthy to talk about. The mind game, the beauty of mind game. Okay. Watch, okay. Forward goes in front, rushes in front. And Hunter already read the mind game that he will backtrack and drop the pallet. So what the Hunter did here is that stop at the pallet, backtrack a little bit, anticipate forward to backtrack and drop the pallet, and then go for the hit. Check it out. You see that? Just pause, backtrack, and then hit. Now that is an excellent Hunter play, especially when it comes to the pallet mind game. TPCR already anticipate what forward is going to do. So let's check out the cipher progress here. It's still actually behind. Okay, one cipher done, and still roughly about one full cipher to be completed. Now this is a very different thing altogether, because Sculptor has already reached full presence. So what can be done here? Okay, is that and forward is already on the second chair. There's no choice. You want to go for tie is almost impossible right now. The best bet right now is to go for one out. Okay, so what they has to do is to Waling had to meet up with Mercenary and heal up. But unfortunately here is that what happened, PPSR managed to find Mercenary and teleport over to maintain the tempo and the chase. And here basically there's just no more chance for RD anymore. The best bet, is to just go for dungeon already. Okay. So this is another one of the aspects that I felt worthy to be dissected, especially when it comes to COA, in which dungeon play is a very important factor. So what we see here is that Waling is one of the dungeon duo in which he has replenishable resource in his hog, in which he is able to keep using it repeatedly throughout the game. So what I felt here needs to be done, let's look at the survival game objective, is to basically just get one out via dungeon. Okay, so Mercenary here should prime the heal, but not get up, because needs to consider the possibility to let the bleed timer run out, so that if let's say in the worst case scenario that the Waling goes down here, okay, let's see what is the Hunter going to do. Okay, if definitely not going to check, then only Mercenary communicate to Waling. Okay, let Waling prime the heal, then only Mercenary get up again. So what this does is that you force the Hunter to come find Mercenary. Okay, then let Waling enough time to go find a dungeon. But unfortunately here, you see here that's no longer the case, in that Mercenary has already gone up and gone down again. Okay, because exit path has already been used, Mercenary has already picked up, and basically Hunter right now is just need to be patient and keep chasing Waling to secure a 4 kill. Because there's no way that the Waling can escape having slower movement speed while he's moving on 2 legs, and this is how 4 kill is done. So let me just pause the game for a while, pause the video for a while. So essentially, I felt the first downfall of RD team is the misplay of Explorer in number 1 digging a pitch, and number 2 not being aware of the quenching effect. And I think it's probably a meta thing that maybe in their meta most of the Hunters just typically brings Blink, but as we see, there's a lot of variety of builds in China team Hunters, as I've explained in one of my articles in Reddit. So especially if versus a team that has a lot of tough man line up, then there's a one weakest link, in which this case is Explorer. You have to be wary the threat of quenching effect. Okay, so let us just move on. versus RD. I'll try to break down the what do you call that? The band pick. Okay, for this case, it's a very special case. Okay, you see the hunter band forward. Now this indicates a few things, and also the fact that the survivor team GG perhaps made some homework and did some research in that the hunter here, Dream, is a well-known Mad Eyes user. So the selection of Enchantress here, while at first glance will seem very surprising, but in hindsight, by knowing the hunter is the Mad Eyes player, actually Enchantress and Seer becomes a very valuable asset to the team, in which they are able to, what you call that, use their skills to reach the curse and tower. Actually, one more that could add here, instead of Priestess, probably could use Mechanic. Because Mechanic, especially when versus Mad Eyes, the most recent play is to not deploy bot, instead to use the bot as a sacrificial to climb over the fence to make way for a Mechanic to escape. So that is instead of Priestess, probably in my opinion, Mechanic would be a better choice here. So this is Mad Eyes, and definitely this is one of the usurp of the day one, because Mad Eyes being featured in COA, don't just say COA, in the normal daily rank is really so rare, right? So having to see Mad Eyes in the COA finals is indeed a treat. Okay, so let's jump into the game. The weakest link here might be actually Enchantress, because Seer still able to climb the fence with defense via his owl. So using the owl here would be quite interesting, would be slightly different from the typical games of using it to block hits. Using owl here might be to help self or assist the teammate to climb the walls to prevent being blocked by So once again, in this particular game, Arms Factory itself is the strongest threat zone, but in versus Mad Eyes it may be the worst threat zone, because he can actually just use his walls and block off all exit routes. Okay, so typically for Mad Eyes, the starting play is of course for using the console and try to find out where are the survivors, and just not necessarily just to inflict damage, but just to harass, build a small wall here and there to disrupt them from decoding. Whereas the survivor, what they try to do is to hack into the console and use up the energy so that they can disrupt. They can decode peacefully. But here that we see that Mad Eyes already moved forward and decide to commit to a chase and brought confined space, but maybe not detention. Because here we see that he's bringing Blink. Okay, here, Mad Eye for tight kiting is definitely not the best. Okay, and here we see I really have one first mark. And to be honest, because without using any walls and going into a land chase like this is actually not an optimal gameplay, especially versus Enchantress. But here we see that Enchantress cancels the attack recovery, and here this is where I mentioned earlier that Mad Eyes would use the walls to block off the way, and this is definitely one of the correct play. Okay, using the owl to climb over the fence, but it's too slow in that you already let Mad Eyes close up the distance, and this is why Mad Eyes also bend forward to make sure that he able to balloon safely. So here actually, not necessarily say it's a bad play because we see Mercenary immediately bounce over to rescue, but at the same time Enchantress also having 3 stacks. But at the same time also you see here Dream here also being very aware and immediately block off the escape route already. So this is what interesting, okay, because Mercenary is aware that Mad Eye would be using the console to disrupt others, so he just immediately bounce over to rescue. But Mad Eye also, for better or worse, managed to realize that. But one good thing here is that Mercenary able to rescue uninjured, and you see we still got two elbow pads here, and you see once again coming to rescue, because when you want to rescue against Mad Eye, right, you cannot be too greedy or too ambitious, because if you wait too long, right, he'll be using the wall to block off the rescue path. You see here now the Cypher progress to left about the second one left about 20%, and the last one left about 1 full Cypher. So GG team is actually quite behind in tempo here. But the problem here is that Mad Eye wasn't able to maintain his chase tempo because they're not able to find any good target to chase yet. Yeah, but the good thing here is that because he haven't used any of his blink yet, but Princess there is definitely being too greedy in that trying to go back and recode. I'm not sure whether that was made to tempt for chase, but it's definitely something that is probably too risky to do, and especially when throughout is close to the mid game already, and a lot of the console have a lot of energy. But of course, Priestess being Priestess might be able to escape by using the portal. So here is where the conservation of Blink worked out for Dream. We're just able to use the Blink and close out the distance. Now see the Cypher progress here is actually not too far away already. So what the survivor can do here is to just wait it out. Either Mercenary or even Seer himself can come to rescue. Can rescue after half also, never mind. But probably not necessary, because you see the Cypher here about, I think that's about 5%. So any one of them could come and rescue, but then again, just need to be, for the Cypher Primer needs to be careful and well aware of the console direction so as to not get damaged. Because this chair is also dangerous in that Mad Eyes, right, will be able to block off the pathway just like that. And here actually let's check it out here, okay? You see the Cypher progress is done, okay? And by looking at this particular placement of the wall, right, you can deduce that let's forget it. Okay, let's forget it. The rescue is very difficult. We felt that it's actually better, right, for Seer to go to the gate, just escape here and go to the gate, or just trigger Thanatos but wait somewhere else, conceal his position, and then just pop the Cypher. Because why? Mad Eyes has already used the blink, okay, not too long ago, and even if the trump card changing to teleport will still take some time. And what Mad Eyes usually have a problem is chase. So by staying away and popping the Cypher will give absolutely no chance for Mad Eyes to maintain his tempo chase. Okay, so if pop Cypher and immediately Seer opens the gate, then I would have a big trouble here. But instead here we see here 445, the Seer bit too greedy and try to charge our, and here has already his location be known to Mad Eye, and see here is basically just being fenced up, a very risky play. Okay, and here now pop the Cypher and Princess already going down. So this is the difference. This is the difference earlier compared to earlier, is that you by popping the Cypher at the distance that's too close, now the hunter roughly knows where is the position already. And here he immediately try to control the gate of the Mercenary by blocking and disrupting him from opening. And you see here, just so lucky in that he's not enough energy already. Perhaps a bit too overzealous with the energy usage. Here we try to check on the seal as well. But unfortunately, we see on the other side, Mercenary actually hack into the console to use up the energy, and once he determined the energy has been used, now he is opening the gate. And even if I here try to use the console to disrupt the gate opening, but it is a bit too late already. Here try to bluff out Blink, and that would be a 1 now. Of course, looking at the situation, it's actually not too bad for RD team in that they're able to get 3 kills. Of course, getting 4 kills will be best, but right now we will see having 3 kills will give them 3 points and survival 1 point, so meaning RD have a 1 point advantage of 2. But because of GG earlier having a 4 kill, and that would mean they have 5 points, and overall for round 1, GG team would lead by 3 points. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's go to round number 2. Let's go to round number 2, in which now it would be GG team to hunt and RD team to play survival. So let me jump to the. Did you see the band here? Well, if you're not mistaken, it's Seal and Crystal Signal. The Hunter band, I can't quite remember. But here we see that the lineup here is actually a mix. Okay, we have the Tough Man in Mercenary and Wilding. They have a fast decoder in Mechanic and also a robust. What we call a robust character in Coordinator, able to rescue, able to kite, able to decode, because she doesn't have any decode debuff. Because why this lineup is chosen is because RD team is behind in terms of points, so they need to at least get 3 out in order to have some point advantage again. Because if let's say they get 4 kill or 3 kill again, that would really put a lot of pressure on their hunter in definitely needing a 4 kill. So for this particular lineup, obviously the best target will be Mechanic. The best first target will be Mechanic. But of course, that may not necessarily mean the best also, because if let's say the bot is not being taken care of, while camping at chair, the hunter will be looking at 4 ciphers being decoded outside, and that would be a very fast cipher rush progress. So let's check out what hunter they'll be facing with N. And N in Red Church is actually quite a formidable force. N has recently in COA become quite the main pick for the game. So typically BO1, best of 1 game, the BO1 game would be the pick normally is Sculptor Dream Witch. For N, right, typically she comes out in BO2 or BO3. Typically she is now known as a Thai Queen who is able to secure the Thai. Because camp game is strong, and during Gate War she can even able to manage handle Wilding if riding on Proki. Okay, so let's check it out. So coming onto the spawn point here to find mechanic, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, finding the mechanic bot. So this is definitely a disaster for RD team in letting the bot being hit so early on and such an exposed area. Because mechanic the strongest point obviously is able to decode, but you want to leave the bot at a more obscure place, okay, and go as far as possible from the bot. here, one cat to trade for one arrow pets, that's actually not a bad trade. And here finding coordinator first. Finding coordinator. So might as well just go ahead with the chase since the board is already mechanic already have one more board left and the energy is half. Okay, so here right, so here is where I think the shot is well known already. The typical play here is that it's an open space. It's the best spot for coordinator to shoot a gun. But it's also known that N has a jump and be able to dodge the shot. Okay, but at the same time, N can also use the cat to explode and then disable coordinator from using a gun here. So what happened here is that jump, avoid the flare gun, and go for a hit. Because N, right, for good pilots such as Zalam here, we're using the jump to change the direction of the run, and then we're using the structure to block the gun. Okay, here now, let me go back here. You see for Hunter, right, for N here is so aggressive in playing to not hesitate using the teleport at all, to make sure his tempo is not disrupted and to drop the cat to ensure a down. Now we see the downtime actually is still quite respectable in 1 minute, about 1 minute, I think about 1 minute only. Now consider half the board has been used, one gun has been exhausted. Okay, especially for this lineup, right, only Wilding has a replenishable resource, others are all limited use. So here we see mercenary already got wanted order, and while coordinator here actually you want to save is quite a risky move. In fact, yes, this is probably the better play here. Wilding just keep the distance, threaten to rescue, but not too close. Just perhaps unfortunate in mercenary got wanted order here, in which the hunter can just able to tell just as long as keep Wilding in sight, and then you will know whether mercenary will come to steal the rescue or not. And cipher wise actually is not enough here because we see 3 cipher, 1 cipher done, and there's still about one slightly more than 1.5 cipher remaining. Even if coordinator having an extra chair time, but we see here is not sufficient. You also have to consider mechanic herself having decode debuff due to one the teammate being injured. So here this one is a nice play. Because Wilding eventually will need to get down from the peak. So just run the timer, and then coordinator fly away, and you per using the cat here, jump, stun, fast pallet break, and this is just a simple stun. And here this is where what I always say. Once you down the survivor, the fighter, you really angle your camera to find the shaking cipher, in which here N already found, which is the hunter, the survivor at the back gate. Now look at the win condition here. Is it to camp or to disrupt? Now obviously map disruption is a bit lacking in that she only has a cat and not even necessary to disrupt, because must be able to reach out to the survivor and bite, and then uses the explode to just stop the decode for 10 seconds. Okay, so now Zalam here has already identified the last cipher is at that gate. Okay, and also consider that Wilding, right, even if you camp, mercenary is at full health. Mercenary come and rescue, and Wilding mercenary can just either block a hit and during your blade bar animation, Warling can just go on the hog, and then will waste a lot of time. So what is the next best thing here to do? It's basically to continue the disruption, because there's only one cipher left. And here we see, you already know, see the camera is really angled there, and already know that it will be a chase. Okay, so here mechanic is definitely has nothing to help with it, so she will inevitably go down here. And here the cat come and bite back, and it's just an easy down. Okay, of course this looks easy, right, in the execution, but because N here has already a very good thought out game plan in that by executing this no cam. Now you see this chair also. We see the chair, even the chairing, because we know that this cipher at the back gate is the last cipher. Now in order to disrupt or stop the cipher rush, it's very important, if you can, to chair at the progress cipher. Okay, so we see here, instead of chairing outside chair, which is the nearest chair, brought back to the chair here outside the back gate, which is nearer to the progress cipher. So here, even if mercenary able to rescue, but of course the rescue is too fast also, and there's no more tight turner because mercenary has already produced it. So here, Warling chose to decode, but already have a decode result and has already been checked. Okay, so now trade one cat to force to ride the Pocky and therefore unable to code. That's a very good trade. That's a very good trade-off. And here mechanic is on second chair. So what could the survivor team do here? Perhaps for Warling to go start to decode another cipher, but then his decode time is too slow, and mechanic here is on second chair. Perhaps the only thing to do here is to maybe get one out, but then again, because they are on point deficit, they definitely need to get at least 3 out, which is at this point of time looks utterly impossible. And here once again, Warling being checked at the same chair and being able to guard both the chair and the cipher at the same time. And this gives a lot of tempo advantage to the hunter because of these two factors. Now let me pause again. Now consider, if let's say right, N didn't teleport and chose to camp at the chair, mercenary will come in and rescue, and with tight turner, even if Warling couldn't get to ride on the hog, it will still give 20 seconds to mechanic to decode. And with only one survivor being injured, mechanic's decoding speed is still quite respectable, even if it's not as full. So by that simple game plan of continuing the tempo chase, which able to allow N to maintain the tempo advantage by staying ahead. So here is really not too much that can be done by the survivor team already. Even you see the cat placement, the cat timing is all just too perfect. Of course, this comes with a lot of training, a lot of practice and skill. No doubt, N pilots for them this is just another Tuesday. So pretty much it's just to secure a 4 kill here, exploding the cat so that cannot use the elbow pad. Sometimes for this is better than the stun, because mercenary will be able to elbow pad away before he even able to close up with the distance. And here onwards is pretty much just a cat and mouse game, well, literally by using the cat, by the cat lady, to just chase down the survivor and locate them. Even if mechanic already preemptively placed the bot at the chair, but at the exit gate, but never got a chance to use it. Now let's look at the last cipher progress. Is about 50-ish, 60% here. few factors to contribute to this. Of course, obviously, is the teleport back, able to disrupt the cipher progress. And then the second one is the two chairs, sharing mechanic and sharing wilding back at this chair, also able to help. And once again here we see is back to the dungeon war discussion that I had earlier. Mercenary here got up definitely way too early. Definitely way too early. But nonetheless, the hunter already know the position. And here mechanic also got up. I'm not sure why mechanic chose to go up here so early. Because perhaps she would think that want to get to the last cipher and hope to pop it. But, the likelihood of that happening is simply too low. The last thing that probably mechanic can do is to dig for chests, hope to get a syringe, self-heal, or at the very least maybe heal a bit by a bit, just to prevent the pro from triggering. Here was probably trying to use the bot to heal mercenary up, but then, well, dropping the pallet here might be a bonus, but it's not too much, nothing much to use. And also, because the bot ran out of energy, it would actually trigger the notification of mechanic's location to the hunter. Here immediately uses the teleport to find mechanic, and basically this is it. That the mercenary has already used the exit path, and here it's game over when it comes to this stage. But the hunter here also being very aware that how to secure the 4K, because for us normal players, right, in rank, sometimes the difference between a 4K and a 3K is just 2 points, and sometimes it maybe feel like not worth the extra effort and time. But for COA, for competitive gaming like this, it means all the difference. 4 kill equals to 5 points. And if you get 3 kill, you get 3 points. But at the same time, the survivor team get 1 point. So you only get a point advantage of 2. So that 1 kill extra makes a lot of difference here. So what this means for the game here is that RD for survival game, right? For the hunter game, right? The hunter must get 4 kills. Anything less is a relegation, and they're out of the game finals. So let's jump into the hunter advantage. Here we see here is that the survival team, right, actually just need to get one out. But we see the line up here is actually also quite robust. We have 2 tough men in mercenary and forward, fast decoder in the mechanic, and the robust in coordinator. So this is a very balanced lineup. We have fast decoder, we have rescuer, we have harasser, we have kiter. So of course, mechanic being the breaking point, the breakthrough point as usual. So here we're using Robbie. Because Robbie is not too bad. It's not too bad of a choice for this map. Because the hunter also need to play very aggressively, and Robbie is definitely one of the hunters that is quite hybrid, being able to camp as well as able to play hyper aggressively in terms of chase. Now the only problem here is that if the survivor team doesn't give any chance, give any opening, is also a problem to the hunter. And if let's say even able to down mechanic, they would just sell the mechanic. Just for GG, right? They just need one out. They just need one out, and it's they win the game. mountainous of a task. So here, yes, it really used the flame to hasten up the speed in finding a survivor. Here we see immediately finding mechanic, and that's good. That's actually a very good find. But let me pause here. We check out the bottom left of the screen. Now this is a very what we say unorthodox kind of persona. We see bringing insolence and trump card and no detention. Perhaps to give respect to the survivors, perhaps they are all very good fighters, and insolence would be able to help with the presence. And here, really dropping a hit on mechanic, so it's actually not too bad of a result here so far. And without Seer to protect the mechanic, it's just a matter of time. But here also didn't walk the window, because good thing here is that Robbie, the hunter here, is aware of forward's presence, because if walk right, then the hunter will get football stun for free. Now here, this is definitely a miss snipe, because for the speed boost, right, unable to utilize it. So here actually is quite a good exchange in terms of mechanics kiting. So you traded one blink for a down. It's actually quite a fair trade. And sharing here may not necessarily be the best share, because there's no close cipher that probably able to disrupt. And also here you notice the pine tree right in hand is actually 0. What she have done is actually to plug the tree first instead of trying to snap the mercenary here. Here, mercenary rescue, and now only plug the tree. And this actually slow down the tempo chase for quite a bit. And graveyard here, number one is no cipher, no progress cipher. Number two, this area has not been used at all, so a lot of balance to use here. And we see here just now, rescue road, the direction is misplaced. And flame call and scanning towards the wrong area, but still okay, managed to down mechanic. But unfortunately, looking at the cipher progress, you see 3 ciphers will be done soon, and just left one more cipher. It's actually to get 4 kills here doesn't look like it anymore. And this is where I say, when you need to get aggressive, you really need to consider the no camp strategy. And here the forward tried to stun, and Hunter also saw it and tried to avoid it. And here, well, the mechanic, yes or no, also never mind already. But here, this is a good play. This is a good play from Hunter to try to determine where the mechanic is running to, and using the speed boost to trap it. But here also you see mechanic is very well aware, also dropping at the pallet here. And here really got hit off by forward during the balloon animation and trigger immediate release from mechanic. And this actually buy a lot of time for the survival team, because look at the cipher progress, just left about 5% or to the cipher pop. This is the final chance here. Okay, cipher pop, and there's nothing much to do really actually. That you see the mechanic has already gone to a corner, and yeah, you can kill me now, no problem. And this actually is the only remaining chance in the game that I like to point out here. Okay, because the hunter brings trump card. What he has to do here is actually to switch trump card to teleport and really teleport to the other gate, because here right, it is at the back gate and there's no timeters being triggered, meaning that there's no survivor here. Definitely no survivor here, they all will lead to the gate. So if teleporting to the gate may be able to disrupt, but then again, there's a problem here. Number one, X-Boy here does not have detection. Number two, Coordinator still has a gun. And number three, look at Mercenary. Mercenary is the one opening the gate. No detention, okay? And that would mean Hunter would need to hit Mercenary 3 times in order to down. And in that equation, throw in the coordinators gun, there's actually no chance for a gate disruption at all. But here, well, chose to chair mechanic first to eliminate, but then it's all too late because by the time you chair, you see the gate has already been opened and everyone is rushing already. Nevertheless, I felt it's quite a okay attempt by the hunter also, because you have to consider in this late stage, right, being and also playing in front of such a big crowd and having all the stage pressure, especially the pressure of having the pressure of needing 4 kills is nothing to scoff at. Okay, so in all that, I felt KD here, the Robbie Hunter actually did quite okay. Oh my god. Man, I've been talking so much for nothing. Never mind, probably just a little practice. All in all, that's the first game, so first match. Just try to practice in a little bit. For the next one would be on GR versus AL. That one probably do it for tomorrow morning. I'll try to make sure everything is better. Okay, because for that particular match, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I want to discuss. There's a lot of things I want to dissect. So hope you guys tune in then. Until then, I'll see you guys.